we are on the Green Line. We're headed northbound. I just got on one stop back, which is the end of the Green Line at Cottage Grove and 63rd. Now, the Green Line at the south end has two terminus endpoints. One is Cottage Grove at 63rd, and the other one is Ashland at 63rd. We're going to head north. You're going to hear a little bit of the iconic CTA in the background. I'm going to try to give you some of the views. We'll get a great view at most. Right now we're going east-west. We're traveling west. We'll go northbound very quickly, so we'll go straight north. And then at about 47th Street, the tracks jog again to the east, and we'll go east-west. And you get a neat view of the skyline right there. So right now we're going through kind of the train switching yard. This is where the Green Line that comes from Ashland kind of meets up with us just before we get to Garfield. I might switch over to the other side. So you're looking eastbound right now over my head. And in a little bit, I'll show you the westbound spur that actually heads out to Ashland. But now we're on the main north-south thoroughfare of the Green Line. This mostly services Bronzeville and the south side of Chicago, and then it goes out west towards Oak Park. As we head north on this, we'll go past Comiskey Park. Seeing behind me right now. See if I can look at this reverse-wise. It'll be Washington Park behind us. Washington Park is a very large green space. It's down about equal to the University of Chicago, and Hyde Park is in this area as well. We're probably waiting for a switch to open. So the train paused for us for a moment, and then we'll continue on northbound. Oh, sorry. We just passed, oh, it's too late. We just passed the Ashland Spur, and that's the switch that we were waiting for. So as we were traveling northbound, we had to wait for that switch to close so that we could get onto the main tracks. It obviously would have been diverted out towards Ashland at that point in time. Again, we're back in the world of large buildings here, or tall buildings here, are the three flats. That would have been a fire ordinance, right? The idea that the hook and ladder trucks in Chicago could only get up to the third floor, so for safety's sake, you were only able to build up to the third floor.
This is Garfield. Transfer to Green Line.
Now we're coming up to the Garfield exit. And this almost bisects Washington Park, but we're really more towards the south end of Washington Park. At this point, we're paralleling the red line. The red line is over on the expressway on the Dan Ryan going north, and we're on. We'll start here on Indiana, and then we'll move over to Wabash as we move farther north. We're seeing a little bit of the artwork at the train station here. Getting up to speed. I'll give you a little bit of an angle so that you don't see everything at such a drastic speed as you fly by here. We're actually running up an alley, so this is an alley behind Indiana Street. We've talked about it before that most of Chicago's services take care of their business in the alleys. So utilities come through the alleys, garbage is picked up through the alleys, stores are stocked and deliveries are made through the alleys, and then the customers are using the front doors. Again, you just heard that we were at 51st Street. Let's see if I can get out of your way there. So you can see a backward sign. We'll continue northbound.
47 is next. Doors open on the right at 47.
We'll take the turn pretty quickly. So we'll take a quick left and then a right. We'll go east and then back northbound. The taller building behind us a moment ago would have been remnants of the old projects.
This is 47.
Now, as we get to 47th here, in the old days, Bronzeville was almost its own city, and it would have had its own grocery stores and clothing stores, and this would have been one of the busier intersections down here, basically MLK and 42nd Street.
Doors closing.
As the city kind of became a little bit more of a melting pot, and by the way, make no mistake, it's still a rather segregated area.
Doors open on the right at 43rd.
As the cities became less racially segregated, they didn't need their own shopping areas, so they just fed into the larger shopping centers, and the mom and pops in this neighborhood would have fallen prey to big box stores just like they do everywhere else in the United States.
This is 43rd.
As you heard, we're coming up on 43rd. You're seeing big buildings here. These are newer buildings that are being built. These are residential only, and naturally, right, it's right here on the Main Street of the Green Line. So transportation-wise, they're very nice buildings to be into, and if you were living on the south side, this would be a great building to be into, give you access to the city just by jumping on the Green Line. And remember, on the south end, there are almost always two trains going north, one that started at Ashland and one that started at Cottage Grove.
Indiana is next. Doors open on the right at Indiana.
We're about to take the little zigzag that we've spoken about. Should see just a neat picture of the skyline over the back of my head. And you're seeing the three flats there with the back porches and the stairways, right? Those would have been for evacuation, as well as in the summertime. You'd be out on the back patio just because it was too hot indoors, right? Not a lot of these places none of these have central air.
This
There
is
would have been with air
Indiana.
conditioners. You're seeing the taller buildings of the city back in the background. Approach the Indiana stop here.
Doors closing.
We're headed westbound now. We'll very quickly move
35th
To
Bronzeville
northbound.
IIT is next. Doors open on the left
35th
at
is-
35th Bronzeville IIT.
Comiskey Park as well as Bronzeville, you heard, and IIT.
Please familiarize yourself with the train
Illinois,
communication and evacuation procedures
Technology
posted
Institute.
in each car. Please be considerate when talking on your phone or listening to electronic devices so as not to disturb other customers.
Now you can
Please keep
see
your
the
belongings
skyline
on the
back
seat
there.
next to you so
Right.
others may sit down.
The Sears Tower, the residential buildings down there in Grant Park, and John Hancock up there. And we're making the turn to go northbound again. So now you're looking eastbound. The stops are about every half mile, right? So, right, we saw 51st, every 4 blocks is basically a half mile. Every 8 blocks is the mile. We have seen, right, 51st, 47th, 41st, Indiana, and now 35th. Indiana would have been 40, I think it's 39, it's either 39 or 40, so Indiana's a north-south street, the stop is at 40th Street. Turn you around for just a second, you see Comiskey Park there, it's actually not Comiskey Park, they always name it something different, whoever
This is 35th
wants to spend the most money on
Bronzeville
advertising.
IIT.
And then we'll get one more stop at 31st Street, and then into 22nd Street. 22nd Street is basically McLaurin Place.
Doors closing.
And then Roosevelt, and we will be getting off at Roosevelt today.
Cermak
There on the
McCormick
background.
Place is next. Doors open on the left
This
at
would be
Cermak
De La Salle, which is a Catholic LaSallian high school. I think at 31st Street, we get an overhead canopy. Yeah, you're seeing that right now, so I'm sure it would have been a noise ordinance at one point in time. Just had a young man walk through to the other car. That's why you heard the increase in road noise or track noise. You're not supposed to move between cars on this EPA, but everybody does it. Seeing the northern end of the university here now. And seeing old projects here. Not sure if these projects turned into residences. Common residences, or if they are university dormitories. They would have originally been projects. Now we're crossing, this is basically 55 going into Lakeshore Drive. Now we've got the Teachers College. These residences out front are brand new. They're only about a year and a half old. And then in the background, we have the metro tracks. And then, wow, they put up a lot of buildings here.
This is Cermak McCormick Place.
Now you're seeing
This is a Green Line
the
train
Teachers
to
College is
Harlem
just in front of us. And this is Cermak. This is the southern boundary of Chinatown if we go 2 blocks west of here. You would get off here to go to McCormick Place, the convention centers. And again, we've got an umbrella or a canopy over the top of
Doors
it.
closing.
And then
Thank you for riding the CTA
our
Green
next stop
Line.
is going to be
Roosevelt is next.
Roosevelt Avenue.
Doors open on the left at Roosevelt. Transfer to red and orange line
Seeing a lot of
trains at
hotels in the
Roosevelt.
background there. These buildings are very close to the tracks. And we've got another set of legacy projects in front of us to the east of the tracks. I'm sorry, to the west of the tracks. And then most all of this is newer residential. That pause is allowing for a track switch for the orange line. You'll see, I'm going to switch you around. The orange line heads out west from this. The Roosevelt is the last common stop between the orange and the green line. And the orange line heads down to Midway Airport, going a little bit southwest. Getting ready to pull into the Roosevelt station. The Green Line is an entirely elevated train system. So remember, the blue line and the red line go underground through the city. The Green Line stays above ground. North of 18th Street right now. Roosevelt is also 12th Street. And here you're seeing how tight we are to the buildings that line the tracks. Let me see if I put you there. If the train had windows, you could probably reach out there and touch those. All right, as we pull into the Green Line station, I am going to go ahead and shut it down. Thank you all. Again, Windy wanders the city. Have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.